What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV. Whoa. Hold on. Hold those horses. And pause. BCM's back. BCM is back. Leeds United is back. And what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Blue Clouds Media. BCM Sports brought to you live by Blue Clouds Media. And we are back again. Will today shape the standard, with the standing shape up and see who the relegating threatened teams will be and those that will be making it through in terms of winning the Premier League. And also, as usual, we're back again. I'm your host, Leeds United. Today we are live at the bridge spiritually, at least as Chelsea look to hand down fifth consecutive Premier League win under Liam Rosenior, the young gaffer. We've got a massive clash today as we'll be looking at Chelsea flying high after the Cole Palmer masterclass at Menelaw, the Menelaw Sports Stadium. Don't forget, Leeds United did the business against Chelsea way back in December. Can they pull off a historical double, or will the Rosenior revelation continue its march towards the Champions League glory? We are breaking down the injury news, including latest on Reece James and Roman Lavia and Alves, looking at the tactical battle between Daniel Farke and directness and also aggressiveness of Chelsea press and how Leeds United can handle them at Stamford Bridge. And of course, taking your prediction, jump into the live chat right now. Give me your score prediction and tell me, it's Cole Palmer officially the best player in the Premier League right now as we talk? Let's get into the debate, wherever your concerns are regarding what your expectations the lineup should be, and then the score prediction. Also drop them in the comment section below and tell me, how is your day going and how is the weather conditions like? Share with me, I'll tell you mine. And if you have any personal problem, you know I'm a go-to guy you can attend to. Come to me, come and discuss it with me, and you know how to find me. You can find me, go to my comment section, my channel community. Information is right there. You can reach out to me Zion anytime, and this I rest assure you that I will respond within 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take that long at all. Some friends here will testify to that. So be with us on Zion is here, and I'll be here. I'll take you guys through an hour and a half or 2 hours of live intriguing, giving you the all historical narrative between Chelsea and Leeds United and why they're called Dirty Leeds. And I'll tell you the 34 years old curse between these two clubs and all the nitty-gritty and what it will mean to Leeds United if they win it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss the show. So as usual, I always say stick around. Nizan is here. And we'll have David Prince and Stephen G might join us live from Stamford Bridge. So stick with us. We'll be right back in just a second. right, so welcome back again. And big up to everyone joining us live on the show. Big up to all my friends, the family of Blue Clouds Media. Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. Especially Cole Palmer and Daniel Knight, big brothers, joining me live from their own, comfort zone, watching the stream. And guys, do not forget to drop a like on the video. Very, very important. So trigger the YouTube algorithm whilst we're live right now. YouTube will send a link to many people for them to hop on, and let's have some intriguing live stream. And look at historical, like I said, a lot. I have a lot on my table to discuss how Chelsea can break direct Leeds United down tactically. I've worked on it, and I see how we can beat them and why we used to lose so many games under Enzo Maresca. But now the work rate and the way and Liam Rosenior is handling things a bit different. But there is a little invention in here, like we saw from Enzo Maresca. Liam Rosenior does the invention also. He infects players. He does that, but not too much as Enzo Maresca. So before we get into it, let me read a few of the comments here so it doesn't pile up on me. Big up to big up to Cole Palmer, big up to yourself, and big up to everyone joining us. It says we own Leeds United. Leeds one and need us to smoke. I think remember smoke, smoke them and make the Leeds admin cry. All right, so that's from Cole Palmer. It says hopefully West Ham United can stop Man United. So United stand what his strand doesn't cut. Another strand. Okay, doesn't cut the hair. Keep the hair growing. Actually, this one says what I think Cole Palmer. I said 3-1. Okay, I got it now. 3-1 Chelsea from Cole Palmer. Big up to you. Cole Palmer said 3-1 Chelsea. Big up to drop. Big up from Daniel. Says drop Alejandro Garnacho and Delap. They are not good enough. They're not performing very well, which I agree with Daniel 100%. I don't see Chelsea challenging for the title next season with his model and wage structure. Daniel, we don't know yet. And I know, hypothetically speaking, we always start very well. That's something that I like. Although the December month doesn't really go in our favor, we had a lot. Next season, we're gonna have a lot of experienced players. We don't have to bring in some experienced players from outside, our club to realize that we have experienced players. If you calculate the number of years that our center backs have spent in the Premier League, our midfielders have also spent in the Premier League. The attack is maybe a bit younger, but then if you look at the midfield, and defense, and some part of the attack, you can tell that there is experience in there. Let's start from the goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez gained a lot of experience. Moses Caicedo, a lot of experience. Cucurella, a lot of experience. Reece James, Malo Gusto about 3 seasons now with Chelsea. That alone is a lot of experience when you calculate it. And let's go to the midfield. Enzo Fernandez, a lot of experience. Cole Palmer, a lot of experience, 3 seasons already. Even game more season with Manchester City. And who else? Jerry Hato, I'll say maybe 2, he hasn't got any experience because this is his first season. Who else are we talking about? We can talk about Santos, first season. Alejandro Garnacho, a lot of experience. He still needs to improve and get better. Game Gettins, not Premier League experience, is learning on the curve. We have Neto will be leaving. To me, I feel like Neto will be leaving us by summer. He will leave the football club. Delap, Jean Pedro, a lot of Premier League experience. He's been around for quite a long time. Esteve Williams, not much experience, but then we know what he can provide for the club by next season. We already see his first season, how good he has been. I'm sure he's going to continue the same way next season. And who else am I missing? If there's anyone I'm missing here. Romy Lavia, Premier League experience from Southampton, from Man City, Southampton, and Chelsea. And although he doesn't get much game time, hopefully, just like Liam Rosenior said, that when he's ready to get him fit, they have to make sure that he stays with them forever, not to get injured again. But you can rule that out from Roman Lavia. Excuse me. So that's a big thing to look out for. It's going to be another poor summer transfer window. I don't know, but let's hope and see. I don't think that there will be. I've seen a few rumors and noises out there, and I don't know. I don't think all are PR. I don't think they're all PR. They're trying to make sure they don't spend money in the January, but then bring the rightful players to back Liam Rosenior in the summer transfer window. Yes, there will be players in the summer transfer window, but which department? I think the midfield needs some injection since we've lost Ricardo Bonanote. We haven't bringing anyone yet. I thought Douglas Luiz will be the guy to replace Ricardo Bonanote, but I realized that the club was thinking otherwise. So that's one thing to look out for. Then the night said it's going to be another poor. Okay, I think I read that one here. Prediction: West Ham United. When will they drop a point? West Ham United. Look, they are picking up form. West Ham United are not playing bad at all. Look at the way they played against us in the first half. If they keep that standard, keep that momentum, they could pick up a point from Manchester United. Definitely, they can pick up a point. So predicting there'll be other games also. There will be pretty much a lot of games that will be going on today. So guys, so there are games like the main game, the main one that I'm looking up to is Chelsea, Leeds United, Everton, Aston Villa, Everton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Leeds, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United, West Ham United, and Manchester United, which will be taking place at Olympic Stadium, London. So a point can be dropped here only because they are trying to stay off relegation, and they've been poor the first half of the season, but the second half they are playing much better right now. They're playing very, very well, and I'm just hoping that they can pick up a point for Manchester United. But big up to everyone, guys. Let's get it going. Let's look at the historical narrative between these football clubs. Like I said, the double-edged sword that will be used in the factor to create the tension at Stamford Bridge. Let's look at the 34 years curse that is being set between Leeds United win. If Leeds United win tonight, it will be either the first league double over Chelsea since the 1991-1992 season. Year when Leeds United won the English division. So it will be since Chelsea the 1992-1993 season when they actually won the first division. Leeds United did the double over Chelsea. That has been a very, very long time. Also, looking at how Chelsea are playing very, very well right now. They're playing exciting football. Attractive football, and Stamford Bridge, they make Stamford Bridge a fortress at this moment because Chelsea hasn't lost a home game to Leeds United in the Premier League in either at least 7 meetings that these two clubs have met in Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have never lost a game to Leeds United. So you can ask so many questions. Will today also be? Will they repeat the history, or will they fall on it? Which I believe that, do you guys think that Chelsea will keep a clean sheet and win today's game against Leeds United, since they have a very good record against Leeds United? 7 meetings and they haven't lost anything. They haven't lost a game to Leeds United. So but the only hoodoo or whatever voodoo's hunting Chelsea is going to be a great start of the day for Chelsea. Chelsea has actually failed to win any of their 3 midweek Premier League games so far this season. And it's a midweek game. It's a midweek game on Tuesday, and I'm a bit worried. Can Chelsea get it done? Can they get it done over the hill? Can they do it? Because since they have a very bad record against midweek games, can they do it to Leeds United? So guys, if you have anything you want to share with me, do me a favor, you can drop it. Hopefully we can get Davi will join us here in a second if he get a chance. But besides that, I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, talk about historical theoretical problems that is going towards this game, and also I've talked about midweek, something that can also go against Chelsea. Now we will talk about form guide. Form guide at this moment is not looking that great for Leeds United. Chelsea are much more stronger in this position. If you look at momentum versus survival, we're gonna break down the last 5 games, which is between Chelsea and West Ham United. Last 5 games, we start with a win, draw, lose format in that order. Let's look. I hope. Let me see if I can find the last 5 games. Let me share my screen here. That'll help me illustrate things very well. All right, so we're looking at just the last 5 games that both teams have played, and I did set this that each of the team has a lot of energy, teamwork, and play with high, like say velocity or velocity. Yes, that's the right word. High velocity. Team reset form. We look at key takeaway from Chelsea. Chelsea have won and has a won. They've won. They've lost. They've won again. 4 straight Premier League wins, and then they've scored 11 goals in that spine. Which Leeds United, if you look at Leeds United, they've won, they've lost, they've drawn, they've won, and also there is a little bit of not a little bit. There is an inconsistency in their game, but they have dangerous players. They play dangerously. 6 points clear of relegation right now. Chelsea edge. Liam Rosenior is chasing victory. If he wins tonight's game, he is the first manager since Mauricio Sarri in 2018 to win his first 3 home games. Yes, if he does it, it means that he's equaling Mauricio Sarri's record, and he'll probably making his own record at this moment. Let me see what I can find regarding Leeds United and Chelsea on the screen. There you go. Come on. Where is the clip? I've already clicked it. Bring up. All right. So, yeah, that's a predicted lineup they have on the screen. I have my predicted lineup also with me on the screen. All right. So, like I gave you here, looking at Leeds United and Chelsea form guide. Very, very important for both teams. If you look at this, Chelsea beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-1. Chelsea lost 1. Like I said, Chelsea have got they lost 1, which they've won against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think is the latest. They lost to Arsenal in the Premier League, and then also won against West Ham United, won against Napoli, and also won against Crystal Palace. So there's a lot of a consistency in there, but lost to Arsenal Football Club. And now let's look at dodgy Leeds, dirty Leeds United. Let's look at Leeds. Overall, I have to look at Chelsea. Let me see if I can find Leeds here. If not, then I have to click on Leeds United. Oh, why am I back? Okay. From guide. I'm not getting Leeds United. Okay. Hopefully this can give me something of what I'm looking at. Okay, this is much better. Over here, let's start from here. I think this was the latest. So we start off from this side. Chelsea won 3-1 to Crystal Palace, whilst Wolverhampton Wanderers also won 3-1 to Derby County. Up here, Chelsea won 3-2 to Napoli in Naples, where Wolves went away to Fulham and won 1-0. And up here, Chelsea won 3-2 to West Ham United, and Leeds drew 1-1 to Everton. and Chelsea lost 1-0 to Arsenal the same day. I think it's not the same day. Leeds also lost to Arsenal, where up here Chelsea won against Wolverhampton Wolves, and then Leeds United also won against Nottingham Forest. So they're not going to be that easy to beat at Stamford Bridge. We're going to talk about the way they play and how Chelsea also play. So it will be a battle between two managers. One is more direct, and one is more of pressing, attacking based football. Leeds away, Leeds also in the league, they struggle playing away. They struggle much playing outside their home ground. They're very, very strong at the Melano, but then they are kind of a weak when they go away. Leeds have won only 2 of their last 25 away matches in the Premier League, highlighting this as a problem, a major psychological hurdle for Leeds United, because this is Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge is no dog area to go and mess around. It's choked. The fans are very, very close to the pitch. So whatever they're saying, they're yelling at your ears, and the opposition fans, it gets to affect them. The players get to affect their morale, or whichever way they psych themselves up to take out this game. So that's something that we have to be also be looking out for between Chelsea and Leeds United today at Stamford Bridge. So I've given you a lot. I've given you a lot of statistics, information that we should know. We can hear it, keep it in our fingertips, and see where you stand on it. Will Chelsea win this game with all these statistics that we're looking at? They are playing on Stamford Bridge, and they have won 2 of their last 25 away games in the Premier League. Since they've been there, they've gone on relegations, they've coming back. They go through a series of problems. They can't score, they can't win much playing away, and they've won only 2 in 25 away matches. So that's not good for Leeds United. Also, we're going to look at tactical deep dive. The Rosenior, the way he plays, his tactical flexibility, like I've mentioned in a few of my videos, how flexible and directness he is. This is where you show. We're going to look at a few. I don't know if I have I just use the predicted lineup whilst I wait for the main prediction to pop up. But let's look at how Rosenior plays his football and how he's going to match Daniel Farke's directness. Look, Chelsea always start with a 4-2-3-1 formation. But in the build-up, they always play with a 3-2-4-1. That's the main setup. But before they initiate attack, it is a 4-2-3-1. But with the press, when they play in the press, it becomes a 3-2-5-1 formation, where you see Reece James and Marc Cucurella inverting, going to the midfield, helping out other players, and they become very, very compact. Where under Enzo Maresca, it wasn't like that. We were very open when the counter-attack comes in, with there's no one really in front of the goalpost to help out. There's no one there. So that is something that I prefer that we look into. And that 3-2-5 in position. So some players that we have to look out for when you're watching the game. Pay close attention to Malo Gusto or Reece James or Marc Cucurella or Jiro Hato. These 4 players, keep your eyes on them and how they move into spaces and how they retrieve into their own space. So key things to watch out for. All right, so like I said, I've gone through a few of them, few tactical breakdown. Leeds United on the other side, this is how Chelsea play. Daniel Farke knows that he cannot match Chelsea boot for boot in terms of possession. In every game that Chelsea have played, and when they dominate possession, they always dominate with 60+ ball control. Daniel Farke, man, cannot keep the ball more than Chelsea can. In that option, they will use Calvert-Lewin as a target man. They will hoof the ball to him, make sure he can hold on to the ball very well, and wait for Leeds United players, the wingers, to come in and release the ball to them. And they can be very, very dangerous on that aspect of it. Don't forget, then Calvert-Lewin has been on form. Him and Harry Wilson have been on form lately. So there is a lot that they can do to help Chelsea if Chelsea are not very, very careful. All right, so we have guys, we have Davi with us. Davi, you guys know Davi already. I'm gonna let Davi join us here and share his view on tonight's game.
Yo,
all right,
yo.
So, Davi. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning. How's everything?
Doing well, everything is fine.
There you go.
Another difficult game at the bridge, and we're looking into it. Before we get into it, how is your day going, Davi?
Yeah, so far so good. Can't really complain. Morning's been great. Definitely ready to talk about this game, see how it goes. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. How about you?
All right. I'm doing wonderful. A bit tired, but then I can handle it. For now,
Right.
after the game, I can take a rest. But yeah, big up to everyone watching us live across 3 platforms: X, YouTube, and YouTube Vertical. Wherever you're watching us from, let us know from you. And then also don't forget, drop your comments in the comment section below. And I'm not so sure if I have a poll. Also set up. So let me know what you guys make of today's game. How should we tackle it? How should we approach Leeds United with high energy, the way they press and also counter-attacking football? How should we, set ourselves to stop them? Also, we'll be putting up our predicted 11 together. Me and David will be putting up our predicted 11 as he's joining me right now. So big up to everyone. That is joining us and watching us live on their own comfort zone. So, Davi,
Yeah.
what do you make of today's game, and how should we approach it?
We're gonna I think to approach this game, this would make 5 wins for Liam Rosenior. So definitely it's gonna be one of those things where it's after the Arsenal performance, he wants to get back on a winning track, especially in the Premier League. One thing is that he's definitely shown that he can play the Premier League because, compared to where we've been when we was with Enzo Maresca, this has been more productive from Chelsea. And I feel like for this game in particular, knowing what Leeds can do, Leeds can do an upset. So knowing that in that chance, looking at the past 2-3 seasons, he's going to be able to understand that Leeds is not in a position where they're doing very good. But it's in the neutral zone. It's going to be a case where he can't go half-hearted. He's going to have to play his best team to be able to get the win, because we can't settle for a draw. So winning this game is going to be very what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be skimpy. And when I say skimpy, I mean in the sense of if you relax on Leeds will definitely take advantage. It's been shown.
Yeah.
So he's gonna want to go for this win, and I think he should go attacking. In my prediction, he should go attacking. Defending it doesn't have to be the best, but it has to be to a position where that the players can handle their job roles and be able to perform.
Yeah.
Which means that we will need to have the best midfield and the best strike options and the best defensive midfield options.
I agree with you 100%. We did during the press conference of Liam Rosenior, he did touch on a few things. There's been some things surrounding social media. Some are calling him cocky. Some are calling him names in terms of how he speak and him being bold and have so much trust in himself. And others are even comparing him to Jose Mourinho, trying to say that he's a bit cocky and he feel like he can do everything. He knows everything. But look, anyone in this world who knows how to speak, he knows what he's doing. People always don't like him. You get what I'm saying? Do you see him to be cocky?
I haven't seen any. That's
the way he replied.
That's the thing. I've seen things, but I personally don't know where they're coming from. Because it was like, is this something that's coming in the changing room? Is this something that's coming from the players? Because the first thing is where is the rumors coming from? Okay, once you see where the rumors are coming from, then you can kind of understand. But these rumors are just, being widespread to my knowledge. So it's like, where did people see he's cocky? Because even on the touchline, I don't see anything that's, glaring at me to show, oh yeah, he's a cocky manager. When we win, he shakes the manager's hand, he gives a nice clap to the fans. That's all I'm seeing right now. His managerial skin on the touchline. I haven't seen anything that would prove or to give me another way. Even when he answers his interviews, the questions, I haven't seen anything cocky from him. So I've never seen him go in there and, act like, oh yeah, we're Chelsea, we're gonna win this game. That like, in any way. So I'm just not sure where that's coming from. To me personally, he's doing his job and he's being discreet. He's not being too loud. He's not being too over positive. He's literally going there and doing what his role is and acting in his role. So I haven't seen anything other than that. So, I couldn't say it because I read this news article saying that there's a lot of comments surrounding Liam Rosenior, and he said he's not affected by it, but apparently his family's affected by it. He said that himself. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and see if I can look into more of this, because the only way it would make sense is if there's a source that it came from that was validating exactly where it's coming from. Is it the players that saying he's too cocky? Is it the backroom staff, medical staff? That's the kind of things I want to hear, but there's no links to that. So it's just like fans are just talking to talk,
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. So big up to that. Big up to Daniel Knight. My boss. Yeah, my boss. 05. Big up to my boss. My boss said, big up me. I hope Chelsea get a win against Leeds United, and hopefully Chelsea smash them at the same time. I think they have nowhere to hide. They have nowhere to hide, and we will play very well. We play very, very well in the first half, and make sure we pile up pressure, get some goals in the first half, and then also make it a little bit easier for ourselves in the second half. But yeah, let's go to tactical aspect of it, David. Leeds United are a very, very direct team. They play direct, they're strong. They use Calvert-Lewin as a target man. And we've seen over the weeks and months that our team struggle with defensive work, where they're keeping a lot of goals. How would you approach this in terms of how Chelsea plays their football?
In that situation, is not really. I wouldn't call it too difficult. You have to understand the type of the players we have. They're more experienced than the Leeds players. So in logical order, you would think that Chelsea's defensive line will be able to keep them to a halt. And that's the thing, because Gusto's playing, Cucurella is going to be playing. I just don't see them having too much openings to be able to go down the line to cross the ball into Calvert-Lewin, which means their play is going to have to really come from either set pieces or it's going to go through the middle, where it's going to be a case where he might get a through ball. I just don't think that's going to be happening, because we got Caicedo. Is Caicedo playing in? Yeah, Caicedo and Enzo are going to be playing in that middle. So I think, to be able to pass Enzo and Caicedo, that's the thing. You got the defense, you got the centre backs waiting there to be able to capitalize on any open ball plays. Yeah. So that's going to be one thing that I believe that if they don't have another structure other than Calvert-Lewin, then it'll be difficult. Before, when they had Calvert-Lewin and they wasn't using the target man, it was open play. Their plays were, they played more like Arsenal. They got a striker, but they don't use him. So it was more like, we can get the ball into the byline, get a cross in, someone will head the ball in, and it'll be a goal. It was open play. But now that you're saying that they use a target man, if they're gonna focus on just playing on a target man today, then the outcome will be very different, because I feel that's how it's going to be. That's how we're going to get the breakdown. I feel like that's what Chelsea can do. Chelsea can prevent those planks from going in. So it's just going to be one of those situations where you're going to have to understand that the difference from their gameplay from our formation play is going to be the battle of the odds. Another thing I would like to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. If you have anything you want to talk about, that is check the private message.
Yep. Okay, good. Another thing I want to touch on is, there's a lot of fans.
I'll highlight and I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. So another thing I want to talk about is, the pressure on Liam Rosenior. I feel like there's a lot of fans at the beginning of the season when he first got the job. They never really understood who he was, or, really wanted him as a manager. But I think right now, in the situation that we're in, people have to understand that he's doing a better job than Enzo did for us. Yes, he hasn't got no trophies, but Enzo never had any trophies in his first season. And with that talk, in our first season with Enzo Maresca, we ended up 10th. That's how we qualified for the Conference Cup. Second season, he then ended up 4th, but that was in the last 6 to 4 games. And then we qualified for fourth place. And then we also had Conference Cup. And we also had the Club World Cup, which Enzo Maresca with the team had won. But with Liam Rosenior, with the team we have, he's managed to be able to keep a top 5 spot for the run of the last 5 games, and we still got plenty games remaining. So with this type of situation, people need to understand that if a manager like Liam Rosenior can come into this team, be able to take mold of the run of games, and then be able to keep us in a top position in the league, they have to understand that there is some sort of quality there. The reason why I say people need to understand the quality in Liam Rosenior is because, again, you just compare the differences from Enzo. Enzo, everybody started liking Enzo Maresca, started understanding his football in some sense. And then it got to a point where it was like this season, people started having doubts. People started having mixed mindsets on his role and actually if he really was able to, be the manager for us. And you could kind of see that in the games we was lose. Yeah, we had the Barcelona win, which was really good, but after that we started losing in the league, and we was losing, drawing, losing. But then when Liam Rosenior came, we've managed to keep a consistent win of games, which, everybody always talks like, we shouldn't have lost this game when Enzo Maresca's here. Why is this happening, and etc. Well, this is the kind of manager right now that we have, which in Liam Rosenior, and he's consistent. He's keeping the games going. We are winning. Yes, we didn't beat Arsenal, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad loss we took to them too. Do I wish we would have won that cup? Yes, absolutely. But this is the good thing, because I feel like he needs to be able to understand what it means to go into those cup games. And I know what he did in that last game against Arsenal and the first leg. He's probably going to take that and be like, okay, so this is what I should have changed. This is what I should have kept. This is what I should have started as the lineup for the first game. Then going into the FA Cup and Champions League, one thing that's going to happen is that he's going to use these tactics and abilities that he did, and he's going to get his strengths, his weaknesses, because you have to remember, managers always writing down notes. And for him, he has experience where he played with Strasbourg. I'm not saying that's a top team, but, he definitely has shown, he did show a lot of improvement compared to the last 5 years and the managers that have been there, because being able to beat PSG twice in one season, being able to beat them once this season before he left to come here, I do believe he has some mentality or game plan when it comes to top teams. And I do believe that facing Arsenal, it was a case of a learning curve because of the players, understanding who can pull out, big performances in when it's needed and when it's not needed. So I guess going forward, to be able to keep that same structure, he's going to be able to understand better what we need when we come into cup games and making us perform.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of David. David has explained what he's giving out a lot. You guys have heard it. Guys, don't forget Nizayon and David Prince Light bringing you We Are Spiritually in Stamford Bridge. Yes, spiritually, we're in Stamford Bridge. There's a lot of games, Premier League games going on. And hopefully maybe this week, midweek game could shape up the Premier League itself, a relegation threatening teams. And also, if Arsenal could definitely go on and win it, this week can give us a little bit of idea on what to expect. If you're wondering how many games that will be going on in the Premier League, there's a lot that will be going on in the Premier League. We're talking about there's a lot will be going on in the Premier League. Everton, AC Milan. Sorry, Everton, AFC, Bournemouth, not AC Milan, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United, West Ham United, and Manchester United. Another big game to look out for. Tottenham Hotspur, we all know they're struggling heavily, and there is a possibility that Tottenham Hotspur could be relegated. Yes, there is a possibility that Tottenham Hotspur, if they don't pick up a win, which I barely see happening because they've lost more games at their home ground than any other Premier League side. Maybe you can add Wolves to it, but Tottenham Hotspur are not doing good at all. Their home form has been very, very bad with the likes of
Thomas
the new
Frank.
manager Thomas Frank. Yeah, so they are struggling. They are struggling. When I don't see the win coming for them. With they have lost lots of injuries. Also, we have to remember the club captain Romero is also suspended for a game, and Kudos is also injured. And they sold their player. I forgot his name to Crystal Palace.
Brennan Johnson.
Uh, Brennan Johnson, thank you very much.
Yeah.
They sold Brennan Johnson and they haven't replaced him. So
No.
some of the players, Xavi Simons looks like he's getting a bit better, but they do very well in Europe. Can do well in the Premier League. So that's a big problem, and they need to wake up. Tottenham Hotspur need to wake up. Newcastle United also have their own issues and problems.
Right.
But yeah, we want to tackle the Chelsea things. When you're done with everything, then we'll look at other teams and teams like Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. But yeah, Davi, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. I'm a bit tired and I'm just trying to stay up. That's why I keep going in and out. So bear with me when it happened again. I'm trying to make myself a cup of coffee. So I'm brewing the coffee now. And then here in a second, I'll go grab it. So I'll leave you alone in the stream whilst I run down to get it. But big up to you, my boss. Big up to you, my boss. Man, like my boss. What's my boss saying? My boss say what? My boss, what are you saying? Today is Enzo Maresca's 46th birthday. Happy birthday to the Italian Leeds
Maestro.
Says what? Let's celebrate his birthday from my boss. Big up to David Prince from my boss. All right, big up to you. Respect to my boss. Big up to you, my boss. And my boss said, losing, Davi. It says losing, question mark. Davi, Maresca started losing games because he doesn't have a plan B, C, or D. That's what he lacked in terms of a rotation, the squad. He should have worked on his in-game management and substitution. In regards to what you just said, I listened to questions that was being asked to Liam Rosenior, and he asked of this similar thing. Why does he think they has to do a lot of rotation? And from what he said is, rotation is good. It has to rotate because he has too many quality players, and with more quality players, that's a big weapon to every other team. So if he has to make rotation, it's due to the quality of players that this club has, and he's so blessed with all these quality players. So that's what Enzo Maresca have to say. I know Davi has some few things that he wants to go in for. Today, Enzo Maresca for the I think I read that one right. I wish it was Nicholas Jackson's birthday. Nah, Pep has made the most useless signings, but he doesn't get the stick because he ends up buying the game and winning trophy year after year. It's the same thing. I'm a boss. The same thing Chelsea were doing. Chelsea were very horrible or very bad in terms of how they treated their managers. But the fact that every manager that comes in end up winning a trophy, we think that Abramovich was doing the right thing all the time, but it wasn't the right thing. Look at how long Pep Guardiola has been at the football club. He's won 6 consecutive Premier League trophy. So imagine if we have understand and keep the guy for Carlo Ancelotti for 2-3 seasons, we would have win 3 or Premier League trophies in a row under Carlo Ancelotti. But then he was being fired after a game with Everton. At Goodison Park. He was being fired at the tunnel before he even made it to Stamford Bridge. So I feel like sometimes if you have had patience with some of the managers that we've had and help and build the team and let the manager build the team, we would have won many trophies in a row like we did, when we win it this year. We have to wait for another 2 seasons to win it again. We have to wait for another 3 seasons to win it again. And that was not the best. When we have the players, we have already assembled those players, the Ballack, the ACNs, and when they were at their peak, we could have won more, but we didn't. But anyway, And also, you could say that United was also in their peak at that time. United, Arsenal, those were challenging. But this time, the Premier League looks like Chelsea is not challenging that much. United has been dead for about a decade now. And Liverpool has been the only one challenging City for the past 6-7 years. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much, Babas, for your comment here. It says, I want Morgan Rogers at Chelsea in the summer. I don't think that's going to happen. Remember, Szoboszlai is almost denying Man City the third goal and then got sent off. Yes, I watched that game. It was foul first, and also Haaland fouled him. But maybe if we have a chance, we will talk about that. Disallowed goal for Manchester City, because that goal could help Man City. Let's say if the points are tally at the end of the season and Manchester City lose on just one goal, they lose the title on a goal. Goal difference, it could have been a big problem. So Haaland pulled Szoboszlai's shirt because he almost denied Man City the third goal scored by Ryan Chucky from the long range. Thank you very much, Mabas. Davi, what do you want to add to it from the little bit that I've been saying and from some of the comments? If you want to react to any of it, you can just go for it, brother.
Got you. So let's go back to what if you can bring up the comment that Mabas said with the Enzo Maresca not having a plan B, plan C. I definitely want to speak a little bit about that. So he said losing, question mark. Maresca started losing games because he doesn't have a plan B, C, or D. That's what he lacked in terms of rotating the squad. He should have worked on his game and management and subs. I disagree with that. Reason why I disagree with that is because, number one, he came into a team where we had too many players already. He had to do a major turnaround in that squad. So he had one season with that squad. We ended up 10th. We went into Conference League. Okay. Second season, he still has the same players where he had to now understand who can he keep, who can he get let go. And that wasn't his choice of which players were being let go on loan, which players were coming in. This is a manager that had the team that he just had to function with what he could do. Now, saying that he didn't have a plan C, B, or D, it would be hard to have that type of control and with the players that he had in quantity, because the main issue is that you have to remember Liam Rosenior came down when the squad was already shrinked. You had players that have already gone out on loan. And then the talent that was brought in, Maresca never had for a long while. So he was also having to change the squad around and be able to produce. But going back to the plan C and B and D, again, one of the strongest formations that Enzo Maresca played was shown when we played PSG in the Club World Cup. That formation change was massive. And then we ended up beating them 3-0. When we played Barcelona, 3-0. So I disagree 100% to say he doesn't have a plan B, C, or D, because at the end of the day, that's how we won the trophies. If he never had a plan C or D, then as you said, you said question mark to him losing, we would have lost those games too. And one thing I'm happy about, everybody might not be happy about, I'm happy to have won the Conference League. I'm very excited to have won the Club World Cup. We got a badge that fans can buy now and have world champions for the next 4 years. So for me, that was a big achievement. Being able to have that game embroidered with our glory, it just, it makes big changes for me. And that's what I said, if you're going to say he keeps losing, but at the end of the day, when we come against big teams that we can't beat them, yes, you're going to have your bad and your good. But at the end of the day, the good definitely showed and the bad obviously showed too. The consistency ratio, as I said, if players are coming in every season, because that's what Chelsea's going to happen now. We're going to have new players coming in every season. Managers are going to have to know how to adapt right away. Delap came in, We also had Pedro that came in. We still got next, and this is Estevao came in. We got Santos that came in. We have, is there any other players I'm missing? Let me think. Okay, as of right now, that's all I can list that came in. But this is the situation. Next season, Liam Rosenior is going to get a taste of what Enzo Maresca had to deal with. We got Jackson coming back. Disasi coming back. We got the player that we have from Sporting Lisbon, the superstar that they said that's he's been the best superstar since they had Rafael Leao. They're saying he's coming back. I think it's Giovanni something, but he's coming back as well. And then we also have Kendry Paez. He's going to be coming back. We also have Anselmino. He's going to be coming back. So there's a lot of players that we're going to have coming back. I'm even hearing that we might be going in to buy back Diego Moreira because we have a buyback clause of 2 million. He also might be coming back. So the squad is going to be heavy. And that's excluding the signings that already the board is trying to make. I've already heard rumors of players that we're going to buy. So Liam Rosenior next season has it hard because the players he's going to have is going to be the same quantity or near enough to what type of players that Enzo Maresca had to deal with in his first season. And this is my problem. So when you say that and Maresca, managed to get those 2 trophies with that type of squad, the level of the squad, it is a big achievement. So I wouldn't agree on plan C, plan B. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, Mabas05 says, Enzo Maresca talking to 2 former clubs, Juventus and Man City. It's like me trying to get back to my ex after saying to my ex, bye Felicia, and never talk to me again. I don't know about that. I mean, if he played for them as a player, and now you're a manager, you're gonna want to go back. Why not?
Yeah, you don't want to go back to your ex, but some people say going back to your ex is the best thing. Also, like old how do you call it? They say old lumber bend the best compared to a new one because it's nice and dry compared to the one that has so much water in it. So yeah, so sometimes it happens. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. It's not all the time they got to refer to your go to the past.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead, Davy.
Mabast05 says Maresca wasn't back properly after winning Chelsea 2 trophies, the UEFA Conference League, and a Club World Cup. Maresca wanted Gehi and Murillo, but the board didn't give him a proper centre-back after Cole injury. And I agree in a sense because, again, the board have what they want to do. They've already let Maresca know this from ages. This is the thing. Maresca came into this job from Leicester. He wasn't a top-class manager. He was a nobody. They gave him the strictness of understanding that you're not going to be involved in transfers. You might have an option, or you might be able to give how you feel, but they was going to be in charge of the transfers. Now, with the Cole injury and with the players that they had, it's not Maresca's fault. Yes, we know that. But the board have already said that there's certain players they're looking for with a certain age bracket. Margui, definitely I would have taken him. But if they're looking for youngsters in a sense of this is what we're looking for and this is what we need and this is what we want the age bracket to be, you can't blame them. Because look, at the end of the day, it's with youngsters that we took to go win this Club World Cup. Everybody was against the youngness of the squad, the talent of the squad. But this same team that Maresca was losing with and was struggling with, we went to go and win 2 trophies. So at the end of the day, that already lets you know that, I feel like it's a good change because at the end of the day, now we're showing that we don't have to have the best players in the world to win. We can have minimal players with separate individual talent and still go win trophies and still compete for the best, in the highest in the Premier League. Right now, we're the youngest team right now in the Premier League to be, holding 4th place. If we go and push for 3rd, that's going to be even better. So at the end of the day, I feel like the more talent that's coming in and the more we get these talents to be able to flex with each other and be able to, can you imagine if we get more Estevals in our team? Soon enough, our team's going to be like Real Madrid. Because look, we've never had...
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so, Esteval, I don't think we've had another Esteval since Eden Hazard. Esteval is the closest thing right now I can class to Eden Hazard because he comes on the pitch, he's young, he's bursting he doesn't have the best pace, but he has technical ability, composure, and he has vision. So the more of those products that we get like that with that talent, it's going to be great. I feel like I'm ready to see that because we're getting players in for cheap, then rather go and spend millions on players and then we don't do the work. So I feel like this is a good change around. Go on, me.
Thank you very much, Davi. My boss, I have explained this many times over here on this platform. And the fact that we did not have anyone coming in and when Levi Cole got injured doesn't mean we did not back the manager on it. One, just like Davi said, a certain age profile is what we're looking for. And we're looking for, Enzo Maresca himself was looking for a ball-playing center-back, which at that time, they did not have it. Bastonia is not a ball-playing center-back defender. He's a good defender, but not a ball-playing center-back. And people keep saying he wasn't back very well. And I don't think that is true. David agrees with it. He says he agrees. I disagree. One, we have to remember, we had six center-backs. We have Tosin Adirbayo, we have Chaloba, we have a Champon, we have Fofana, we have Badishile, and we have Levi Cowell. We have two left center-backs, and then we have 4 of them, which is Fofana. One, we have to understand that if the kind of player that a lot of Chelsea fans were looking at, is going to be nothing less than 60 to 70 million. That's the asking price. The one from Sporting CP, the Ivorian, it was going to cost just 60 plus million to bring him to the football club. Bastoni will cost just 70 million to bring him to the football club. And if you have an academy graduate, and we are the same people that we said that we have to give the academy players a chance to play. How do we develop academy player like Joshua Champo? How do we get game time for what's his name? Chaloba, Champon, and Fofana, when you spend 60, 70 million on Bastoni or another top center back, because we're not going to bring in the more kid. At that time, everyone was asking for proven center back, and that center back was going to cost 70 million. Okay, now you're going to spend 70 million on a left center back. How are you going to play Badishile? You have to remember, if the player is not ready or willing to leave the football club, you can't force the player out. And if you don't play that player, he doesn't care. He's gonna get paid whilst he sits on the bench. And that's a money waste. That's a lot of money going down the drain. Just like we did with Disasi, and then we did with Raheem Sterling. Sterling was making money without playing football. Chelsea could not sell Raheem Sterling because he's not willing to join any football club. You cannot sell a player when it's not willing to join a football club. It's a similar thing as they say Cole Palmer will leave the football club. If Cole Palmer said, I want to go, he will go. But if someone comes in for Cole Palmer and he said, I'm not joining your football club, even the club to club negotiation can go on. But when a player said, I'm not willing to join the football club, Chelsea cannot force the player. And if you have all these players on long contract and they are injured, and you know they'll be coming back at one point in time. So, in case Chelsea have spent money on Bastoni, how are you going to develop Joshua Champo? Because we know sometimes we've been playing right-footed players on that left-hand side. How do you develop Joshua Champo? How do you give game time to Chaloba? How do you give game time to Tosin to know that if Tosin is good for us or not? If he hasn't get many game time, we wouldn't have known that Tosin is good for us for the project. We wouldn't know. Now we all know Tosin is not good enough and he has to go. So we had 6 center backs like Tosin, Chaloba, Achampon, Fofana, Badishile, Cowell. Cowell will come back in April. But the club believed that we can manage with these players that we have. It's unfortunate that it went up and down. A few injuries came in. But you have too many players on the bench in the club. And for you to go and spend that much money for another center back, it doesn't worth it. Also, in other areas, we talk about not backing the manager very well. We have Madueke, who is very, very inconsistent and very selfish and doesn't produce many goals. So we end up spending money on Alejandro Garnacho and what's his name? Jamie Gettins on these two players, thinking it could be an upgrade. I don't worry so much about Alejandro Garnacho because it was just like and we didn't spend lots of money on this player, and he's Premier League a proven player. He needs time to adapt. He needs time to adapt to the way we play. And like I said, he did not play many football, but he's acting very, very awful right now. He will get better. He will get better. Gettins also need time. Delap also needs time. You cannot just bring in a player for a season and then say he's crap. He did not become a crap player overnight. He was a good player before you spend money on him. We have to remember all this. Right. They need time. They need managers. They need coaches to develop these players. I'm not happy, just like you are not, that we all see them to be crap. It's a teamwork. They will get better. Drogba was not good in his first season. It took him a while to adjust to understand the English game. No. If you have sent him away, he would have been a better player for somebody else, and there we will be biting our fingers. It's like, why did we let this player go? Like we did with Salah. Salah now has even scored more goals than Didier Drogba did with Chelsea. De Bruyne, we did the same thing with De Bruyne because he wanted to go, though, I understand, but he did not get that game time that he was looking for. A few players that we've let them go, which we should have had patience and have time for them to keep them at the football club. So we brought in Estevao Williams. Estevao Williams is also an upgrade, giving us more goals than our wingers gave us last season from Madueke.
Right.
We never had a striker for the 5 years that we've had since Diego Costa left. We brought in João Pedro and Pedro Neto. João Pedro has been a revelation for us, leading the team with that number of goals. So there has been an upgrade. There he was being backed. So if you say properly, I don't understand when people say properly. If you say properly, it means that you understand, you agree that he's being backed. But then certain players that we as a fan base were looking for that did not come to the football club, and we see it to be not a good upgrade or did not back him very well, which I see to be, very, very harsh on the sporting directors or maybe the owners. But I'm not backing them. I'm not in the favor of them. Like we all said, it want experience to beef up the squad and the squad becomes better. But anyway, I've done I explained why they did not bring in another center back when Levi Kuo got injured. And I think they brought him Jerry Hato. Hato has not been bad at all, Davi.
No.
What do you think?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, Hato's been solid. I mean, I've known Hato for a while. So I've kind of always figured he was going to be solid. Even the first time when they said there was potential that we could sign him, I was actually happy with that because even when I play FIFA, he's one of the guys I buy on the market as a backup to the team. So it just happened to be that all fell into place and we ended up getting him because also Arsenal was also in for him as well. So this definitely was good when he had joined us. Mabaso 5 says Garnacho and Estevao, Hato, Buonanotte weren't Maresca signings. They were both signings. Maresca didn't want those players. Yeah, even if it was the board signings, but that just means they did good because at the end of the day, we had Estevao, who was definitely a great signing from the board, Hato, which is a dominant signing from the board. Buonanotte was only a loan, so that wasn't anything special. And then Garnacho, which, there's a lot of mixed emotions, but a lot of people don't like him. But again, with the time that he's only 21, so with the time that he is, and once he starts dissecting into the team and understanding the roles a lot better, he's someone that's going to improve as well. Yes, Giovanni Quenda is the guy I was telling you about, who they said is from Sporting, and he's also going to be coming back when the summer opens. And apparently, as I said, they say he's one of the best products for a while. Imagine Jackson under Rosenior. I think we don't end up keeping Jackson. I think he's going to end up getting sold. So I don't think it's going to be a case where Jackson still has a future at Chelsea. I feel with the way the squad is right now and with the team play, he's not overtaking João Pedro. He's not going to be playing over Delap. The thing that Delap doesn't have that, let's say, Jackson does have is that he's able to keep into play and be able to get in positions to be able to shoot. The problem is with Jackson over Delap is that Delap doesn't get the chances to go and shoot, but Jackson gets the chances to go and shoot, and he can either miss 2 or 3 and then score 1. So that's the problem. So with that in sight, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Mabasto5 says, I hope Rosenior doesn't leave in 2028, just like what Maresca did. Again, it's not really down to him. It's down to his consistency and how he is with the board. Mabasto5, you don't talk to Man City or Juventus in October, November while managing Chelsea. That's the most idiotic thing a manager can do. Again, Mabasto, I agree as well. But it's one of those things where if at the end of the day, the board is disrespecting you, and, he actually came out and said that he's not getting full support, I probably would do the same thing. The club has to respect you. The job you're doing, they got to respect you. You're a grown man. You have a family. You have a lot of respect from everybody else. But the people that you're working for don't disrespect you every day. I wouldn't talk so high on that, because if you have no experience in that type of situation, you might not understand it the same. Mabast05, I thought Maresca was a yes man, but after 1 year, he stopped being a yes man and became a demanding coach like Conte. The board didn't give Maresca experienced players he wanted. No, I disagree with that. I think what happened was the first season, he let it, he gelled into it and saw what could happen. But the problem is that after winning the 2 trophies, I think he wanted more of a command and, direction of what he can do with the team and the players. But I think the board just had to remind him that, listen, this is what you signed when you came here. This is what we told you. And now you're trying to deflect from what you agreed on. So I don't think it's not the board's fault in that situation. It's his fault. Because if the board have already told you this is what it's going to be when you come in here and this is the way it's going to stand, don't think because you're going to win trophies it's going to be different. Because they've already told you this is what it is here in this club. So, Mabasto5, Delap and João Pedro were Maresca signings. Mabasto5, apparently Badiashile has been linked with the move to Serie A clubs like Juventus, AC Milan, a return to League One to Marseille. Yeah, that's good for him. I'm glad. At Mabas, Osman Diamande. Yeah, he's a great defender. If we get him, he's 22 now.
Yeah, that's one of the players I was talking about, that he's from Sporting CP, that it would take a heck of a money to bring him to the football club. And
that'll be good though. That'll be a good signing
in right now.
Right.
That would be a good signing though, but
100%.
It will be clouded. It will be clouded. It will be there'll be so much center backs there that wouldn't be getting game time. And before you do that, you have to let some go and bring in some. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
because
100%.
we know Fofana definitely was going to return, and since he has returned, he's been playing very good right now.
Yeah,
and how would he get game time for a Champon? Even if you want to sell a Champon in the future, you have to get him game time to develop the player. You need 100%. To get better. And Chelsea rejected 80 million. 80 million on a Champon. Here we are. We all say that these owners are just here for money. They're flipping players, but they rejected 80 million. Yeah. How many players, how many teams in the Premier League will reject 80 million for a young centre back?
Mm-hmm.
How many? If that was the main concern of what these owners are doing, they would take that money and sell a Champon right away and take the money.
Yeah.
All right. That's something that I'm very, very happy that the owners, have really made it clear that he wasn't for sale. Maresca, yeah.
Mabasto5, Maresca wasn't that good at developing young players. He was okay at best when developing young players. That's a hard one to judge, but I'll give it to you based on the factors that it showed in the last season. So yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, before he came to Chelsea, he developed Kenan Drisbury Hall. He gave him game time, and he understands his football with Leicester. Right. So if you stay and during back his days with City's success, he was part of City's success. When they win all the trophy, he was part of it. Arteta was also part of it. So if we say he's not that good at developing players, he was just making too many changes. And as we say, plan A, B, and C, and D was also another problem. I did not really see. I know Davi said he has it, but I did not see any other style of play. I saw it once where it changed. I think he went back 3 or something in the game, and then he's changing the game. That is something that I had the problem with Maresca. He most of these games, it never had a complete 90-minute performance. It was either a first 45 minutes or a bad 45 minutes first half or a good 45 minutes second half. It was never straight. There was there are few games. The one against Liverpool, the one against PSG, and some other few games. Most of the time, even the one against Betis in the the Conference League finals, his first half was very poor. Was very, very bad first half. I think we considered about 2 goals in the first half or 1 goal in the first half. Then we came to the second half and then we started balling. We started playing good football. But let's tackle it. Big up to you, DJ Saab. DJ Saab in the building. Big up to you, DJ. Big up, DJ. My boss, big up to you for all your wonderful comments and keeping us engaged over here. My boss, big up to my boss 05. Davi, you can go for it. Let's make it snappy so we can move on and look at other areas and tactical, how we can approach this game, look at team injuries, and I'm sure probably the provisional lineup is already out. Let's look into it. Right. Let's go, Davi.
What is it you want me to take over? Because we already read this one, if that's what you...
You already read this one? Sorry then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My best 05, Davi and the players come and go. Not everyone is John Terry or Tony Adams, Totti and Giggs and etc. I mean, that's known. That's football. My best 05, for me, I would keep Tosin because he's experienced and will help younger players. I'll sell for Fana because of the amount of injuries he's getting. That's inaccurate. If anything, Tosin has to go. Yeah. Fofana will stay. There's no way we're going to keep Tosin and let Fofana go. That doesn't even make sense. But, I mean, the thing is with Fofana...
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, go on, speak.
My boss. Come on. When you say experience, sometimes I don't understand how people see experience. My boss, the fact that Tosi is 26, 27 years old doesn't make him experienced. Because his experience that he has is not showing on the pitch. He's not showing any leverage of experience. He's not showing any leadership quality on the pitch. He's one of the worst experienced center backs that we have in the team. So how would these young players look up to Tosin Adirbayo and learn from him? My boss, tell me. When I say, that's what I always say. It depends on how you classify your experience. Is it with age? Because age doesn't mean you have experience. I look at game time, the number of games you've played, the number of competitions you've played in, the high level of competitions you've played in. That is because we're talking about the game, not age. Age is not experience. There are so many people. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon for my words. There are elderly people over there who are even more stupid than younger kids. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you. There are some older people who does stupid things than what younger kids will even do. So I don't use age as an experience. I use that statistics as how many games, how many that this player have done, and use that as the yardstick way of measuring a player if he has an experience or not. You get what I mean? So don't use the age. Age doesn't really qualify this situation all the time. But big up to you, Mabasa. Big up Nia, and then David just got back from work, went office today, so I will go to the match tonight. Thompson, not good enough. Thank you very much. Just what I was just saying. Garnacho, rubbish, absolutely. For now, DJ, he is rubbish, and I agree with you 100%. He need to get better, and let's hope that give him one more season to become better. Wait, I know I want to add to that. Player in him.
Now, I'm not going to have this Garnacho slander, yeah? So I don't care about Tosin. Everyone can make their opinions, and I'll agree. Garnacho is not it's not rubbish. I don't think he's rubbish. Because if we're going to line him up where he is in goals GA in the current season, he's actually doing all right. People keep putting, word in his name. Look, when we played Arsenal in the first leg, out of all the players that could have came and performed for us, he's the one that got us 2 goals. That's a vital game. Those were vital goals. So now you go against in the season, he's got, if I'm correct, it was 3 goals and 6 assists. Now, okay, you're going to say, out of 20 games, but there's a lot of players that are not doing that. Gittins is one of them, and he's supposed to play winger. Pedro's one of our best players, but this season he hasn't had the best season, which is why I think he's probably the next one to go so we can get someone to come and replace him, which will be Estevar. I think Estevar's going to get regular game time for then. So that's all I want to add to that. At DJ, he says Estefao 10 times the player Garnacho will be. I agree with you on that one, Nee. Yeah, I agree too.
100%
My best
DJ.
05.
I mean,
Hey,
like I said, we all. Yeah.
go on, Nee.
Go ahead. It says patience need put the glass down. My boss is messing with me. I know when he mean by put the glass down. All right,
Yeah.
so KDB and Mo Salah didn't have the patience to stay at the Chelsea. Oh, Mo Salah had patience to stay at Chelsea. Mourinho, let me tell you, my boss. Maybe you don't remember. Mo Salah had all that patience to be at Chelsea. Mourinho seemed to be not his kind of a player, so he let him go. The one that did not have patience to stay at Chelsea was Kevin De Bruyne, who was asking game time ahead of the likes of Michael Essien, Didier Drogba, not Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and Michael Ballack. That is what Kevin De Bruyne was asking for. He was asking for game time ahead of these legends. And Jose Mourinho said that can happen. You're going to get game time, but you're not going to get more game time ahead of these attacking midfielders that we have in the team. And he said, then sell me. And I would send him to Germany. I think Borussia, not Borussia Dortmund, sorry, Wolfsburg or something. That's where we send him to. So we have all that patience for him. Salah, we did not have the patience for him. Jose sold Salah. Jose Mourinho sold Salah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm my best.
I think.
No, we read this one just now.
I went back on it. Yeah.
Okay. At my best, Nee, at the time, Mo Salah and KDB, Jaka lacked the physicality to play in the Premier League back in 2012 to 13 season. For those two players, Jaka for 2011 to 2012 season.
Jaka don't lack the physicality of the Premier League. Jaka lacked the first touch. Jaka did not lack the physical. He has a physical aspect of what the Premier League requires. Yep. He was lacking the first touch and wasn't scoring much goals for Chelsea. And then we had to shift him on.
Right. And that's when he started scoring, when he went to Everton.
You want anything else?
No, I just really.
Yeah, he was good for the mid-table teams, West Brom, Everton, but not good for the big teams like Chelsea and Manchester United. So that's where the problem was. Maresca and Poch both left because they wanted experienced players over the age of 30, but the board said no. Both of these managers and left for the same exact reasons.
That's inaccurate. That statement that statement's inaccurate. That's not why they left. Pochettino wasn't able to control the squad in order to get the best out of them. That was number one. Enzo Maresca wanted too much from the job role that he wanted to lead on, take care of, which he couldn't get. And then on top of that, he never had no backing from the staff. So he left to that reason, not because they wasn't able to control the wanting more players into the squad. It had nothing to do with that. They just never had the control of the squad in the first place, and they never had the backing, so it was never going to be able to change. Abbas says Poch wanted to keep Gallagher, but the board wanted to sell him. That's why Poch left, but not the main reason, though. The main reason Poch left was because he couldn't live up to the board's expectations. Yeah.
Thank you very much, David. Whilst you're reading that, I'm checking if we have any the lineup is up or anything.
Gotcha. At DJ, he says, Davey, I disagree on that, bro. We just came off winning a Club World Cup. Maresca felt all we needed was some experienced players in to challenge for the Prem. The owners did not back him. Yes, but this is my point, DJ. If you go into your job and your manager told you, hey, this is what I want and this is how it's got to be, you're not going to tell your manager, no, I don't want that. You got to do this. Who are you? You work for me. I don't work for you. And that's the thing people are misunderstanding, is that a manager's job is only a manager to the players. A manager's job is to be able to control what they do on pitch and off pitch. You know, he can set rules, he can set guidelines, he can set training and timelines. The board owns the club. they're the ones that give you what we can do and what we want you to do and what you can do more and what you can do less of. So at the end of the day, Maresca can never go to the board and tell them what he wants and thinks that he's going to be able to just say yes, because they already told him the plan. When he came for his interview, they sat him down. They showed him the vision of what the club wants to do, how they want the club to turn out. So at the end of the day, DJ, it's one of those things where, yes, Maresca's not wrong, but at the end of the day, he is, because at the end of the day, if they've already told you this is what we're going to do and this is how the turnout's going to be and this is our plan, you can't then turn around after winning 2 trophies and be like, no, we need experience. It's like they've already told you that without the experience, we want the young players to come in. We want to be able to raise them up. So that's just what that is. And they did that. This is the thing. People keep complaining, but with the young squad, we did that. We won 2 trophies with the young squad. So to them, it's like, well, you said you wanted experience. We had no experience in that first team except for Cucurella and Reece James, and we still won 2 trophies. So why we went out bringing, some young experience? And this is how I feel like the board look at it. At my Bass says, how good is Abdul Fatawu? Maresca used to work with him at Leicester City. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Abdul Fatawu is a Ghanaian now. He's been sensational. He's scoring wonderful goals. He's a Ghanaian international. He plays very, very good football. At that time, he wasn't that great, but now he has improved a lot. Fatawu, and probably he will leave Leicester City for maybe 50 million. Yeah. He will leave Leicester City for 50 million. He's playing very, very good football right now. So yeah, big up to Fatawu. And yes, DJ Sab Maresca wanted experienced players over the age of 30. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Never. No big team or big club in the Premier League will go for a player age over 30. No one. Right. There's not going to be any resale value on that player. And right now with PSI and financial fair play, you have to bring players in. When things don't go well, you can sell them for a bit of, if you can get profit, at least you can get your money back.
Right.
In the Premier League. And Maresca won us 2 trophies with that squad. And now we are looking at his bad, we are looking at him as a bad manager all of the sudden. No, he's not a bad manager. No one said he's a bad manager.
Yeah.
No one said he's a bad manager. DJ, who said he's a bad manager? DJ.
Yeah.
We all know that DJ Maresca did not show us different plans of way of playing. And we never said that. DJ, I am one of Maresca's lovers and then supporter of Maresca, that I always want him. I said, just give him a chance. And I've also support Rosenior. I never hate any manager that comes in, because this is Chelsea. Managers come in to do well. They will do well for Chelsea, no matter where they're coming from. Put Davi in that. Put Davi in there. You put the players on the pitch, you win a trophy. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised. It is the DNA. Always drive these players to go in for. But let's make it snappy. I want Leon Goretzka. Leon Goretzka at Chelsea. Him signing for Chelsea. It's like how Chelsea signed Michael Ballack. Imagine Enzo Goretzka, Caicedo, midfield 3. That would be crazy from Mabas. All right, so Steven is not here, Mabas. Jimmy Carragher out. Neto has been better than Garnacho. DJ, Neto has been playing for Chelsea for 3 seasons now. Garnacho last season under Amiram did not kick a ball. Neto has been in and out. He's been better beginning, and it looks like he's going down again.
Right.
And some reports, I've been seeing some rumors out there that they will ship him on in the summer, which I wouldn't like that to happen, because it's one of the experienced players in the league and even with our team. So why would they do that? But then everyone, if they're working with data, every club works with data. They're working with data. If you spend money on you as a winger or a striker, nowadays strikers alone, like a number 9, don't score the goal. They expect to see goals coming from the wingers. Estavio Williams, Alejandro Garnacho, and Pedro Neto. Those players, Cole Palmer, they want the attacking players to score. So if your data is there and we have you for 8 games, 10 games, you can't even record 5 goals, then it looks like you're not improving. They got to move you on within a season or 2. And Pedro Neto has been there for 3 seasons now or more. So let's not use Alejandro Garnacho and compare Pedro Neto. They're not the same. although they're both wingers, but they're not the same. You can't do that, DJ. All right, I thought Mo Salah had enough of patience at Chelsea, but I was wrong. It was possible Mourinho didn't rate Mo Salah. Just like I told you, he preferred Oscar and William Hazard on the wing over Mo Salah. Absolutely. That is true. Like I told you, he has all the patience, but then Jose Mourinho sold him. Kaka struggled with adaptation at the time because he came from the Belgium league, which is different compared to the Premier League. That was the initial stage when he was 17 years old. He struggled and at that time there wasn't much room for Kaka to get game time because Drogba's were there, and the best thing for him to get game time develop was to go to the likes of West Brom and the smaller team to get game time and develop. And once he came back, I think he came back and things did not go on well for him, so they have to sell him. He came back. It's not adaptation. He just could not do well on the highest level with big teams. That was the problem. I don't know if David sees it the other way.
No, I agree.
I agree. All right, Mr. Hospital pass Badishile was a board signing, not a Porter signing from him. And Mabas and Maraska sometimes struggle with language barrier at times due to him never playing in the English football as a player. At times, Maraska had to interrupt what they had to say in press conference for him. Lineup is out. Yeah, DJ is out on the screen right now. Me and Davi have to go through and see some tactical nuances on how we can go past this Leeds United team. Jean Mata left Chelsea to Man United in January 2014 because Mourinho didn't want him to play Mata in his natural position. Mourinho preferred Oscar in that number 10 role. Mata was not quick. That was the problem. Mata was too quick and was too slow. Mata was too slow. Or maybe because Mata didn't suit Mourinho's way of playing at that time when they were at Chelsea. And Manchester United, it was the same thing, playing Mata on the right wing, which isn't his best position. Mata was a good player, but then very, very slow. And he can be in the middle when you're slow. He always get bullied and he loses the ball. So they put him on the left-hand side, thinking he will get less tackled on that position. All right. Mata is too slow on the wing. Absolutely. Just like you said, he's very slow. Mata is slow. Sanchez, Gusto, Champon, Chaloba, Cucurella, Caicedo, Andrew Santos, Palma, Fernandez, Stavio, Pedro. Big up to everyone. These are the players on my typing today. Sorry, DJ, it's all right, DJ. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Was meant to say, DJ, don't worry about it. I do it all the time. And it doesn't mean you don't know how to spell, DJ. Remember when Pedro Neto shamelessly scored against Chelsea during that 2020-2021 season under Lampard? Wolves won that game 2-1. Everyone blamed the Frank Lampard for that loss. Yes, I did remember, DJ. I do remember that 100%. Yeah, like I said, the consistency is what is bothering Pedro Neto. 17 years old, stopped making. And Kaka was 18 years old when Chelsea signed him. That is true. It can be 17 else. He will not work in the Premier League. I made a mistake there. Just a year younger than the number you put up, Mbas. It's supposed to be 18 to be able to play in the Premier League. Yeah, but still young, Mbas. Still very, very young. No Reece James in the lineup. I heard him saying that he's ready and he will play in the press conference, but I guess we had something else. John Mata didn't have the pace to play under Mourinho. Mourinho wanted to pace over technicality. That is from Abbas, which is true 100%. John Mata played the right wing, not left wing. Whichever position you play, I don't really care about. Now, Mata is not in the conversation. It is. Let's look at Stavio Williams and Garnachos and the Gettins. Let's not worry about what they play. Mabas, big up to you. Big up to you. But yeah, when Davi's ready, we're gonna go through this. Davi's ready. Davi, this is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
The Chelsea team, and then the Leeds team. Let me see if I can get this one instead of the other one, where I can see both lineup or both teams set up on the screen. Guys, give me a second. Guys, give me a second, please. I'm trying to find today. Where's the Premier League? The Premier League. My bad. Let me go up. Okay, right here. All right. Okay. Okay. So I did talk about the way Liam Rosenior played compared to what Enzo Maresca used to play. There's still inventing players in here because we remember last time we played West Ham United, we saw Jared Hato inventing. We found him in the middle, somewhere around the pivot area when we're initiating attack in possession. Where, as I've said it, that when Chelsea starts initiating attack, they always start with they land themselves up in the back four, but then they start with the back three. Whilst we're gonna end up seeing either Cucurella moving into this area, and then we have Gusto also moving this area, attacking. But my problem here is how Leeds United is going to attack us, because they're gonna rely on Calvert-Lewin is not in. Calvert-Lewin is not in the game, and I don't know what's wrong. So because usually they rely on the Calvert-Lewin, they use Calvert-Lewin as their target man, and then they make those passes. These players here, Ampadu, who is also Ghanaian, is it Ghanaian Irish? Or Wills, Wills. Ghanaian Wills. His father is a Ghanaian. Yeah, these two players here, 1, 2, 3 players, will be always lobbing the ball or hoofing the ball to this guy here. Is it Mecha or whatever his name is? In Mecha or whatever his name is.
Oh, Mecha, yeah.
They'll be using him as a target man. And then wait for these guys over here, Justin, Buggo or whatever, Aronson, to run to these spaces and release the ball to these guys. So that's how they'll be playing. They will set themselves very, very deep and set themselves defensively. And that should tell you that they have 3 in the back. It means that they're going to play defensive football right there. So when you see a team playing 3 in the back and the defensively 3 in the back, it means that they're playing defensive football. Javi, how should we tackle this? But big up to I've seen some few names here. Phil Macri, is it Macrikin, right? I hope I got his name right. And David, help me out with this right pronunciation, so don't butcher the name. Please don't blame me. Don't blame me. Don't fight me here. I'll say Phil.
It's Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken says easy win for Chelsea from a Leeds fan. Yeah, Phil McCracken. I actually believe what he said as well. I do believe it's going to be an easy win for us. I don't think it's as big as most people are saying. It says Leeds lineup makes no sense, and he knows he's played better than us. So I agree. But I never saw Leeds being a tough one for us. I'm just hearing what other people say, that, Leeds has beaten us before. But really and truly, it's like there's been a lot of games that it could have been creepy for us. Brentford was a creepy game for us. We went and cleaned them out 2-0. West Ham, people were saying that West Ham can pull off a upset. We went and cleaned them out too. So coming to Leeds is one of those things where it's like, I don't feel the pressure from us beating them. I feel like it's more of a pressure from them so they don't get relegated. So, I definitely think that's what that is. That's all 5 says.
My boss, big up to my boss. He's doing his job. He says big up to Phil. Phil, welcome to Blue Clouds Media, BCM Sports. My name is Nate Sound, alongside big man David Prince, representing live, a Chelsea fan. Yes, big up to you, Phil, and to welcome. Phil, if you haven't subscribed to BCM Sports, do me a favor. Don't waste so much time. Subscribe and jump on, and we always have fun over here if you have time.
Right.
Don't forget BCM Sports will entertain you and give you the latest gossip and also credited news as we follow credited reporters and journalists out there. So we always bring concrete news that they're always credible, and you can rely on us. So thank you very much, Phil, for joining us. The Leeds lineup makes no sense. They're playing defensively. That's the thing, that they're being defensive at this moment. So yeah, they're gonna sit themselves up, wait until they concede. And there's also a statistic that I read earlier on when I started the show that Leeds United, they've played over 57 Premier League away games. They've only won a few of them. I think about 2 or 3 of them. So they're not good playing away from Ellen Road. They're very good playing at Ellen Road. That's where we lost against them. So is it going to be a must win or a revenge? Whilst we have Cole Palmer, we also the lineup is right there. As I said, the lineup is right on the screen, and Sanchez over there. Sanchez, a Champon, Gusto, Chaloba on the left hand side, playing the left center back with Mark Cucurella in the Gusto with Reece James not in the starting lineup. Also in the pivot row, you can see Caicedo, Santos, and Estadio Williams at this time going to the left-hand side with Cole Palmer on the right-hand side with Enzo Fernandez playing in this better and favorite position instead of playing him as a defensive midfielder, which we all know he's not good as a defender. So yeah, Enzo Maresca have suffered a lot, make us all suffer for playing him in a deeper role, which we know he is better in the advanced role as an 8. So we are seeing that there's no delap in this game. This game is going to be more technical game. So we have Joao Pedro playing as a number 9. And we know how he gets his goals. Definitely he will drop deep. Enzo Fernandez could move up to that position at one point because Joao Pedro preferred to be in that position to score goals behind. He liked to play behind the strikers. So, Davi, what are the technical nuances do you have that you can put in place on how Chelsea can nullify these back 5 for Leeds United?
Again, I don't really have too much to say on the squad. I just don't think Leeds United is a competition where we got to really, go dive in depth for what type of formation we have to play against Leeds. I just feel like it's one of those things where Chelsea just need to come today and do their job, play their football, and get the win. I just feel like, there's no player in Leeds who I fear that's going to give problems to Chelsea. Yes, they can cause an upset, but this is why Chelsea's got to be on the guard and be able to play their football to win. Right now, I feel like the squad we're playing against Leeds, we've got Chalobah and Fofana in the back. We've got Cucurella. We've got Gusto, they're both going to be playing as wing backs. We also got Esteval. We've got Palmer on the wing. We've got, Caicedo. We've got Santos. We've got Fernandez. We've got Joao Pedro up front. So we've got a great team right now playing this squad. It's just they need to turn up and be able to play their football and get the win, and we're good. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say with that squad right now as the one watching.
Thank you very much. Let's look at the bench, guys. Gentlemen, let's look at the bench. Let's look at the bench as we have here. The bench is we have some academy players there. Sheman Law is a goalkeeper. Badishile, who is a left center back. Wesley Fofana, who is a right center back. Sa, hopefully we can see Sa debut today.
Right.
I can't wait to see Sa, debut today. And also Gerald Hatto. We all know Young and Ayaz, formerly of Ayaz, and we have Alejandro Garnacho, my boy, also in there on the bench. Pedro Neto also on the bench with Delap and McGill. McGill probably in the summer they have to find him a football club because I don't think he's gonna get that many game time, and they have to find him a team.
Yeah, it's done for him.
Yeah, Davi, no James in the lineup. James is not on the bench either. Where are we going with the club captain?
There might be some, he's been playing a lot of games. They probably just thought, what, give him some rest. Because look, Neto as well, they've been slowing down Neto's gameplay as well, game time as well. So I just think that, they're trying to give these players rest. We got cup games that are going to be coming up soon. So you have to look at that too. So it's like, give them a rest so they can perform better for us in the bigger games. Whereas playing them right now consistently is like when the big games come, we've seen it. Look at the Arsenal game. We gave them a rest again, even in the Arsenal game. So it's one of those things where I just feel like they're just trying to maintain their time on the pitch so they can be able to play the bigger games later. So I think it's good.
All right. So guys, that's the Davi Prince for you. Big up to everyone. Big up to all the wonderful ladies and gentlemen watching us live, or where exactly you're watching us from. Let us know. And if you haven't subscribed to this wonderful platform,
like, comment, and subscribe.
What are you waiting for? And make sure you do this. Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Go on, guys.
Yeah, smash it. All right. Let's see what we have here on the screen here. We're trying to look at some few things. Where do we go with this? Davi, West Ham United, Manchester United, big game. West Ham United, you know, there's been some few things going on. They haven't since they moved to the Olympic Stadium. The performance hasn't been that great. Manchester United, would I say, is the right word? Resurgent, right? They're like they're in the transition with a new manager. Carrick came in. Where do you stand on Carrick himself? Would you give Carrick a job if he's able to qualify United or get into the top 4 for you, Manchester United? Would you give him a job?
It depends which managers are available. If there's other
lots of managers are available, even managers are available, all the managers are available.
Yeah,
would you take the job away from him?
I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't give him the job. No, I would look for other managers for sure. The thing is the longevity. Yeah, he's doing well now. Doesn't mean next season he's going to do well. And if you get into Champions League, you're going to look at the facts of what type of experience has he got in the Champions League? What type of experience has he got managing in that level? Can I trust him to manage at a big level like that? Yes, he's been winning Premier League games and he's done it quite well with the team he has, which is really good. But that doesn't mean it's going to continue to next season when they get players coming in, when they have bigger cup games to play. You know, you still have to understand that. Would you go with the manager who won a streak of games in the Premier League? Because the thing that people are forgetting, right, is that he's only doing as great as he's doing because they're in no cup games. All he has to do is play them in the Premier League games. So if you're only competing for Premier League games, that manager has enough time to be able to get them to train and focus on the Premier League. So his best team is always going to be playing. Whereas other teams, they have cup games to play. And then they still have to rest some players and play some players when it comes to the big games. Now, that's not an excuse. But what I'm saying is that other managers have more than one competition to worry about. Whereas he just only has one for this season. So with the streak of games he's won, it's been very impressive. But next season, when he has other competitions, that's where the challenge really is. So in that sense, when you ask me, would I keep him or would I bring in another manager? I would bring in another manager. Again, the manager would have to be someone of quality. And then it would have to be someone of like Champions League experience. You know, one of the top names. If it's not a top name, then yes, I'll give him a job. But if it's someone like, De Zerbi and etc., then yeah, I'll give him the job. I'll see what we can do. We can trust him for next season. But if it's someone of a top name like Luis Enrique, who I've been hearing rumors about, I'm going to give it to Luis Enrique 100%. That's not a manager you turn down. So it really just depends on that motive for me.
Thank you very much on it. That's David. That's David's opinion on it. I feel like you know what? Carrick is doing a very, very good job. But for you to give him, I prefer to give him the job, but not for long term. Because look, they brought in lots of managers whom have pedigree. You're talking about Jose Mourinho, Louis Van Gaal, and we have Ralph Ratnick also came in. Big name, Oli on the wheel also came in, and a few things, but they could not get United playing like the way they're playing now. The way they're beating teams left, right, center is way too much. You get what I'm saying? But you could say maybe manager bounce back. The style of play really suits the kind of players that they have for the back, suits the players that they have right now. But that doesn't mean you should give him the long term. I'll say maybe a short period of time. If it continues, it means that we cannot talk about manager bounce back. Maybe the way he's managing, he's not really talking much. He let the players express himself on the pitch. So that's why the players are playing very well to Carrick compared to what Amorim was trying to do. Amorim was really playing confused football.
Right.
He was absolutely playing confused football. So yeah, 2 years I would say give it to Carrick. Give it to Carrick because how many managers are there? Carlo Ancelotti, he's playing. Carlo Ancelotti is now somewhere Ancelotti is now with Brazil. Alonso, ahead of Alonso a while ago, but I don't think Liverpool and Man United will go in for a rival player that have played for Liverpool. I don't think they're going, even if they have to go in for him. He hasn't done nothing in the Premier League. I know he understands English. He speaks English because he played in the Premier League for a very, very long time. Definitely, he speaks English. He understands English very well. He's fluent in English. But I'll say Alonso has a very good players that he played with. when he was with Leverkusen. But after leaving Leverkusen, he has more better players 1v1 compare Real Madrid players to Leverkusen players way better and could not do well. Could not do. You could say maybe politics also affected his management over there in Real Madrid. There's a lot of politics. We all know that. Maybe that could be the reason why he could not do well, and he didn't get much game time. I mean, much time at United. But anyway, I prefer they stick with him for 2 years and nothing more than that. If it continues doing well, then they can give the job to him for a long time to manage the young players and develop them. But okay, what about West Ham United? West Ham United, was it Joe Louis? No, Joe Louis is Tottenham Hotspur, right? Joe Louis is Tottenham Hotspur. But yeah, West Ham United also struggling, and but they have picked up some form right now under Nuno Espirito Santos, and we saw what they almost did at the Bridge.
Right. It's one of those things where I feel West Ham can pull an upset in a devastating way at Man United. It's Man United is at home, right? Or they're away? No, they're away.
West Ham, no. They are the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, Olympic Stadium. So if they're at home, it gives them more of a chance. If they can even pull off a draw in that game, that's still an upset. That still counts as win for West Ham. If they even win that game, then that's even worse, So it's just about who drops and who picks. But I feel like Man United can still win that game. The problem is that if they go into that game with the mindset that, West Ham, their form hasn't been great. Yeah, they won a couple games here, but and they relaxed, then West Ham gets that victory. So it's just a case of who comes.
They have to do away with.
Exactly. It's just who comes into that game with yes, it's just who comes in that game with a better mentality. And as I said, Man United right now, their form is only displayed because of the lack of competitions they're in. West Ham will come into this game knowing that they're not trying to be dropping down further points to go into relegation battle. So they're going to want to keep up. They want to keep above that level. So they're going to need the points. This is one of those games that those points is going to count at the end of the season. So it's the battle of the fittest. That's what it's going to be.
Another big game here. Another big game. Arguably, not even arguably, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United. One of the richest teams in world football. Tottenham Hotspur, to be precise, to be honest with you, has the best facilities, the best stadium talk about soccer stadium in the world. One of the best in the world. Maybe I can put him in the 1 to 6 bracket because I've been to a lot of stadiums. The Bank Stadium in Atlanta is one of the best. The Bank Stadium is one of the best for Atlanta FC. I've been there before. I think it's way better. I haven't been to Tottenham Hotspur to judge it very well, but from what I've seen, those that have been to the Bank Stadium trying to compare the Bank Stadium to the White Hart Lane, they could see the difference. But White Hart Lane, to be honest with you, a lot of people see that stadium to be one of. But yeah, the football aspect of things is not going on right now. Tottenham Hotspur, we all know that they play entertaining football, attacking football. If you look at the players that they've produced in the past, Gary Bale, the Luka Modric, the Klinsmann, and the rest, they play attacking football. But I don't know why they've always been linked with defensive managers. Jose Mourinho has been there. Nuno Espirito Santos has been there. Now they have Thomas Frank, another defensive manager. Why do you think they're not performing very well on the pitch, but then they do better in Europe, but not in domestic league?
I couldn't really tell you. I feel like it's just a case of, again, when you're looking at Tottenham, you're looking at the managers that are available on the market. So I feel like around that time, you're going by the market. So it's not like they have a choice. It's either you bring in someone with no name or you bring in someone with some reputation and some name towards the football. Because I don't think if they had the chance between bringing, let's say, for example, Luis Enrique to Tottenham versus Thomas Frank, they would have gone with Thomas Frank. I just feel like that's what was available at the time in the market, and that's what they went for.
Xavi was around. Xavi and Hernandez was around.
Yeah, but Xavi Hernandez. Yeah, but this is the thing. It's like you're saying Xavi Hernandez was around. We don't actually know if Xavi Hernandez wanted that job. There's no clear connection to say that he wanted the job. They could have probably called him and inquired about it. he could have turned them down and said, "No, I'm not really
Well,
interested."
we wouldn't. Yeah, we will know if there was some interest from Tottenham Hotspur to Xavi. We would have known.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
they
Yeah, we
did
would have
not
known.
go for Xavi. They went
No.
for Thomas Frank, Premier League. They went for Premier League, manager. And something that I know. I knew that this Thomas Frank is a negative, a negative style of manager. He plays negative football. Nuno Espirito also was attracted to the job. Jose Mourinho, similar thing. The only most entertaining manager that did very well with them and took them to the Champions League final was Mauricio Pochettino. From there, Tottenham Hotspur hasn't been the same again.
Right.
So can we put the blame? Who do we put the blame on? You see, sporting directors, Joe Louise, or is it going to be Daniel Levy? Levy, to be honest with you, he's done a very good job. People don't give him that credit, but he's done a very good job, and I'll tell you why. Go ahead, David.
Okay. I don't think it's a blame game. Again, I feel like you have a team that's on hand and you have a list of managers you can go for. We're saying Xavi was available. We really don't know the extent of what happens behind closed doors, because when the team usually goes out for a manager, they put in an inquiry through to the agent and says, "Hey, is he available? Is this something he's interested in?" The player then tells the agent, "No, I'm not interested in Tottenham." It could have been said to them, and they realized, okay, he doesn't want to come here. He's waiting for a bigger team to be available, or a better team, or there's a quality style of team he's looking for. And that's why it never went further. And then they said, okay, well, he came back with an inquiry. He's not interested. Let's move on to the next person. And I get what you're saying, that it could have came out, but this could be one of that's, there is things that we don't always hear. We don't always hear everything that's accurate. We don't hear everything that's inaccurate. So I just believe that if that was the case and they was really pursuing him, a lot of people would have known about it. But the problem is just that, when you're going with an inquiry situation, this is what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when they're going from the managers that they're looking at and then looking at, the standard of what they have available at that time, Thomas Frank was probably the best option they had. Because as I said, they've done it before. If Mourinho wanted to come in, they brought him in when it was time. When you said Pochettino came in, they brought him in at the time. Nuno Espirito, they brought him in at the time. So you see, this is the thing. They're always in a situation where it's just which manager's available at that time to bring in. And, that's what happened. I think the only one which I didn't agree with was the Postecoglou, but thank goodness he came and left and won a trophy for them. So, he did his job. So it's like, we just have to see what happens this time around.
Exactly. All right, Tottenham, let's look at Newcastle United a bit before we wrap up. Newcastle United, I'll say, arguably one of the richest clubs in the world. They have so much money, abundant of resources right now. They have abundant of unlimited resources at this moment. But then because of PSR and financial fair play, they cannot go out and splash the cash like Chelsea did and Manchester City did when they have new owners. Chelsea did under Abramovich when they have new owners. And for that matter, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, these bigger teams ahead of these teams that have new owners. Because how can these teams be able to mobilize or maybe inject money into the football club and compete with the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, and the rest out there? How can they do that if they have money but then can't spend? How can they compete?
How can who compete? Sorry.
Yeah, how can Newcastle United compete if they have so much money, but because of financial fair play and PSR for how much you can spend a season, how much you sell is what you can spend? How can they compete with the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal?
I mean, if they really want to, they overspend and take the financial risk. Chelsea's done it. Man City's got a lot of breaches. They're doing it. If they really want to, they will do it.
Well, they could be relegated. They were not going to get a fine. They could be relegated.
Could be, but it depends on the breaches. Man City got, they said they have 100 and something breaches, right? You don't have where their relegation got. You know what I'm saying? They have 100 and they had 100 and something breaches. They're still in the Premier League.
A lot of their breaches is not how they did not overspend. A lot of their breaches is bringing in their sponsorship, claiming to be relevant sponsorship from other companies, which is not.
Okay, makes sense. I haven't looked into it too much.
For them to be able to sell more.
Oh, I see.
They did not do what Leicester City did. Leicester City overspent. They really overspent. But then with the Manchester City, there's been accusation of them because what Man City said they've done is they have over 100 or over 500 or over 50 sponsors that are bringing in money. So the more sponsors you have, it means that you have money coming into the football club and you have the power to outspend other football clubs because you're generating more. The more you generate, the more you can spend. But if you cannot overspend if you're not generating income to the football club. That is why Chelsea sold the hotel to themselves and sold the women team to themselves. So it means that when they sold it, they have that money and be able to spend more because they have income coming in. That is what is going on in the Premier League. That is why you see people selling their young academic players, because when they sell them, they can spend the money on other areas and bring in top players from Europe to play for them.
Right.
That is why people don't understand that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'll sum it up to say that it's definitely going to be easy to do. Well, not easy, but it's definitely possible to do. Because look, Newcastle wasn't a top team before. Now they are a top team. You can look at them as, okay, yeah, these guys are a team that can fight to be in top place. You see that Aston Villa, look where Aston Villa is right now. You can say that they're a team to fight in the top place. We even had Leicester City once before, who came from the bottom to come and win the Premier League. And that's been the only lowest team in a long while to really come and shock onto Newcastle started developing, Crystal Palace started developing, and then Aston Villa started showing signs of being like Champions League players and, a team and all of that. So it's definitely possible because look, Tottenham, who have the money and buy players and got quality players, look, they're struggling. So it's not always about having the best players. Sometimes it's just about understanding what type of mentality the team has and what the manager is instructing those teams to do and to play, and then you get the best results. So I look at it like that too.
David, game is about to kick off. David, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle, who are you going for? What will be your predicted scoreline?
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Well said. West Ham United. Let me give you my Newcastle Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going 3-1 Newcastle United. I'm going 3-1 Newcastle United. One, you have to remember Tottenham Hotspur, they struggle at home. They have lots of their players injured and suspended. The captain himself has been suspended, so they don't have much on the pitch. Right. They don't have much on the pitch, and that's why I'm going 3-1. And West Ham United, Manchester United.
I'm going West Ham 2-0.
West Ham 2-0. West Ham United 2-0. I'm going for a 1-1 game draw. West Ham United scores first, and then the second half, United equalize, and that they'll take it to the end of the game 1-1. And Chelsea Leeds United, Davi. Chelsea United.
Chelsea 2-0 Leeds. Chelsea 2-0.
Chelsea 2. Leeds United 0. I'm going in for also another clean sheet. I'm going in for 2 Chelsea, 2-0 Chelsea, keeping clean sheet. Hopefully it stays same score line with me. Davi, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. It's always a pleasure. So stay in the backstage. Don't leave the backstage. Just stay there for a second. And guys, also I want to say thank you all. Those that are still there. Wonderful guys that are still there watching us. It's been my boss, David Sav, who was there. I'm sure he's not there right now. But thank you all. And Cole Palmer and also Daniel Knight. Big up to everyone that was watching the show today. That subscribe and also follow us on BCM Sports. As usual, my name is Nizam. Alongside co-pilot is Davi. Davi is here with me, and we want to say thank you all. Adios. And come on, Chelsea. Go for the victory.
Chelsea.
Let's not let Leeds United do the double over us. That would be disgraceful. Like I said, the last time they did the double over us was somewhere around 1991-92 season. It cannot happen. The 34-year curse must not be broken.
Right.
It must not be broken. They cannot win at Stamford Bridge. So up to Chelsea. See you guys same time tomorrow. Nizam said, love you all, you guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening and enjoy the game. I'll see you guys same time, hopefully tomorrow.
You are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. You are a winner, feel no pain. You are a winner, feel no pain. Yeah, I woke up feeling like a champion. Every move I make, I got the stamina. Eyes on the prize, never lose sight. Grinding every day, pushing through the night. Got the fire in my soul, never back